So here's a brief mobility workout that you can do either in conjunction to your workout that day, either on an off day, or if you wanted to do it as part of your cool down or part of your warm up, it could definitely work for that. I'm going to go through some basic stuff now, and then we'll get more complex as we move along. So we're going to start by working on the hips and the thoracic spine, two areas you need to stay really mobile. So first and foremost, quadruped hip circles. So you're going to do 10 circles this way, locking in position the other 3 limbs, and then do 10 the opposite way. You're always trying to create as much range of motion as you can without you rotating and rolling around. Obviously do 10 on each side in each direction. Then you go into a rock back extension rotation. So rock back extension rotation, hands right here, hand on the ear. Inhale as you bring elbow to elbow, and as you exhale, you're going to open up and get as far as you can, pushing the ground away down here and reaching your elbow to the sky and behind. Inhale again, and exhale, and try and get a little farther. Do 5 on each side with a full breath in and out every single time. That's crucially important to this, along with making sure that your butt is as close to your heels as possible so we lock in that lumbar spine and move just through the upper, mid-back, thoracic area. All right, part 2 of our mobility workout is basically moving a little bit, getting a little dynamic and getting some rotation and multi-joint movement happening. So the first one's a scorpion. So you're going to set up on the ground, on your stomach, with your hands out to the side. From here, you're going to bring your foot up as close to your hand as possible, trying to keep motion minimal through your low back and rotation happening through your thoracic spine. So your hips will follow, that's okay. You kind of want that, hips to follow both directions. We want to keep the shoulders from rotating so that the motion happens, again, through our mid to upper back. Then we go into what's called the bretzel. A lot of you have had this in your cool down before. It's a great full body stretch, covers a lot of different areas. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your lower leg like so, grab your upper leg like so. Now we're creating a stretch on this quad and hip flexor. We're creating a stretch on the up high side of the hamstring as well as the glute. And then from here, we're going to drop our head to the floor and relax and try and open the chest and shoulders up and get this shoulder close to the floor. Now, you don't need to get to the floor with that shoulder, but if you can, it's great. Ultimately, you're going to get a lot of things going on in that one. You're probably going to find that as you inhale and exhale, you're going to create more motion, more length. Fight for that. Strive for that. Don't overstretch. Don't cause pain to yourself, but try and get more range out of that stretch. All right, part 3 in our mobility workout. This one, if you have super tight hips, you could theoretically do every day. It's kind of designed to be a flow. To be straight up honest with you, I pretty much stole this from Dave Schmitz, the bandman. But it's great, and dude's like in his 50s and incredibly mobile and incredibly strong, so why not borrow from him, right? Why not steal with working? So I'm going to take you through this whole flow. Ultimately, you want to do each stretch or mobilization for like 30 seconds. It doesn't need to be a lot, but ultimately if you do 30 seconds per position per leg, you'll end up with about 7 minutes of hip work, hamstring, glute, quad, hip flexor. All right? So first and foremost, band goes around the foot, leg goes out here. You're going to just mobilize in this abducted position for the leg, trying to get the leg long, push the knee through the back side of the leg. 30 seconds there, then go up, straight up right here, 30 here. Then you go down and across. If you can, grab with your hand and just pull for rotation in the hip. If you can't get with your hands, you can use the band to assist it as well. Sometimes it's a little bit more pressing and hard on the ankle, so you can bring the band down a little bit more, kind of around here, and try and create that rotation that way. Then you go back on the foot. Now you go across the midline of the body. It's going to really open up this side. This is going to be kind of painful for a lot of people. That's okay. Same thing. We're trying to drive the knee through the back of the leg, going through that. Then you go and you roll onto your side, bring the band up over the top, and now we're going to stretch the quad on the ground. So this is the first one we're going to do for the quads. What you want to do is you want to push your foot into the band, let it relax. Additionally, if you bring this up here, you can create more stretch because you create some separation between the two hips, kind of like the breaths that we did before. Then you can flip over, and now you're going to get the quad on the back side. Try and drop that foot to the ground. Try and create some length on the inside of your thigh. Do that on both sides. Take you again about 7 minutes to do 30 seconds per movement. All right, last part of the mobility workout. Again, you can do all 4 things like this in a row, the way that I set it up. You can also do this one in particular for your shoulders every day before a workout, whatever you might need to try and open them up. I personally have tight shoulders, tight chest, desk jockey-itis, as it were. And this one's been working great for me to open up my hips while opening up my shoulders, but really opening up my shoulders for my lifting anything overhead. So we're going to do everything in half kneeling, okay? So half kneeling first, you can go 1 band like so, or 2 bands like so. I'm going to just show 1 today, okay? Obviously you can get a little more work with 2 bands. So we're going to start overhead. First, I'm going to mobilize by working my way away from my down leg. I'm going to mobilize, in this case, my left lat, everything going up the chain, everything going down the chain, all the way to the knee. Work it over this way. Then I'll come back and I'll actually get the other side going this way. If you notice what I'm doing, I'm pulling with the arm that's not being used to create the stretch. So I'm passively holding up here. I'm not actively doing anything other than just stabilizing, and then I'm pulling with the other side to create that motion. Now I'll switch legs and do the other side first, and then this side. Okay? Next, I'll drop it down right here under my body for pull aparts. Again, 1 band, be right here, nice long arms, make them longer as you go back. Go through this, switch legs, do the other side. Then you go to overhead. Now I'm overhead right here. I'm going to hold the position. I want to reach up and out using the band to assist because it's pulling me in, so it's easy to push against it because it wants to pull me the opposite way of where I want to go. Now I'm going to hold that position. I'm going to hold my glutes and my legs tight. They are one solid piece. And I'm going to rotate away over my front leg. My head can follow, doesn't have to, but I'm trying to create rotation from the upper half, not from the lower half. Switch sides, the other side, same way, only rotating towards my front leg, not rotating back this way. I want to keep my rotation over my front leg. I want to create that separation of the hips and upper back. Finally, we'll do a little over the back. So now we're going to bring it back around and up. For those of you that have tried to do this with a stick before, did it when you were younger, it works way better with a band because you can pull apart and get your hands all the way back and all the way up if you don't have the requisite range of motion. That's step 4 and the final part of our mobility workout.